so this transmission, what I'm trying to say, so fractale, is that all of creation, your perception, your noticing is the voice of God. So the car, the road, the people, the grass is the voice of God. There is a language behind it. When people start to learn this language, they notice ideas like electromagnetism, gravity, culture, sociology, psychology, spirituality, war. When you listen to the voice of God, when you listen to your perceptions, you start to see meaning, organization, symbolic patterns. You start to see a language. Life starts to make sense, right? When you're first born, life doesn't make any sense, but as you listen to it, it's a language that you start to be able to hear. So human language is just one tiny facet of the God language. And so when people are getting into just when you see this stuff, you start seeing patterns. The same way that, like, when you listen to somebody talk as a baby, you start to see patterns in the sounds that people are making. You start to notice that, oh, this and this and this, and you're doing the same thing in all directions. Human language is just a tiny fraction of God's language. And so that's what it means in the book of John when he's talking about Logos. Logos is the voice of God. So to have that voice make words, you need God speaking and you need a person listening. And so Christ is God listening to himself. So it's a perfect translation of the voice of God. And so a perfect translation of the voice of God is the redemption of creation. Because this creation is your interpretation of the voice of God. Your response to it. Like if I say egg, you have to respond to that. You have to generate the idea of an egg. So you have to interpret what I'm saying. If you hear what I'm saying, if I say egg and you resurrect the idea of a llama, then that's an incorrect translation. Because I was not, when I said egg, that egg was carrying the idea of the egg with it. And so if you don't respond to and catch that same idea, then the language is corrupted, sort of. And so the God speaking to himself is where you can look and go, oh, that's the truth. And it's not in anything that Christ said exactly or even did, but right there, you just know that truth is emanating from that point. That's the creation of the world. It's not where time started and dinosaurs became chickens, right? It's not that sort of evolutionary arc of time, that things did not come from the past. Things come from truth. And so where you have the voice of God, the Logos, speaking to himself, you know the translation, the fidelity is perfect. But that's really neither here nor there in terms of like what I'm trying to do with this YouTube channel and this project, the Water Project. It's simply to demonstrate or to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the world is the voice of God speaking a language. Just like every sound coming out of my mouth only makes sense in context to the other sounds coming out of my mouth and the sounds coming out of everybody's mouths, right? The noises that I'm making, I'm not making any random noise like blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean anything exactly. Every single sound and tone and intonation that I'm saying as I talk has meaning. And if I tones that you don't hear anything, right? And so there's no, God isn't, right? We're talking about the other end of the spectrum. There is an end of the spectrum that's like just sounds, but the active part of the spectrum that's creating is entirely coherent. There's nothing in it that is not part of the language. And so you see human language comes down and blends into all the other types of languages. There's turtle languages, there's tree languages, there's water language. And water language is kind of like the English of languages. Everybody uses it and it's the best. No, I don't know if it's the best. It's probably not the best. Everybody's using it though. I think there's something about English that's interesting. I'm very pragmatic, and you can do anything with English. The other languages are like better in some areas. Oh God, where am I turning? Anyway, English is yeah, I think you can do anything with it. So in some sense, pragmatically, there's really no other reason intellectually to learn anything besides English. Anyway, so all that blends into all the other languages. And it all has meaning to the degree, the meaning is there. You might not understand it. Like as you yammer at a baby, you just might be making tones. Right? To a creature that can't interpret it. And so when a low consciousness creature experiences voice, they just see things. Right? You just see things. You just hear sounds. But then as you develop intellectually, you start to hear more and more meaning in people's tones, right? And like layered meaning. You could read a book by a deep author when you're 12 and read it again at 20, read it again at 25, and read it again at 50. And you'll see that you're capable of seeing more and more meanings out of the exact same situations, the exact same events. And that skill is why people's lives start to make sense. It's not because of anything they accomplish in a sequence of time, right? Because once you learn the meaning, you can look back at things that were sound and you're like, oh, the meaning was already there. The voice of God was already there. Salvation was already there. Like the truth of this moment, which is its meaning, is already there. People think the truth of a moment is its noise, right? That's science. It's like the whole, literally it's science. This is scientific materialism where you go, the sound or the vibration or what the object is the highest truth, and the people that know the noises the best are the smartest, and like listen to them, follow the science, right? Follow the science. What is this thing as an object, right? That's like a baby entirely missing the tones and not hearing that and only studying the sound. Why would you study any meaning? I don't see any meaning. And then when people see the meaning, they go, I believe in God because I see this meaning here. It's obviously here. It's talking to me. Who is possibly talking to me through this thing? You have to go, oh, it's God. And so like atheists are just, I don't know, literally retarded. It's the lowest intelligence that you could ever possibly be. So in the history of time, you saw society last century sort of bottom out in stupidity to where the stupidest were elevated at the top. That's why it's a clown show, clown world. And literally, everyone's so stupid that if anybody learns to talk or listen, they don't even know what to do with it. Like, oh my God, that scientist is treating the world as if it has meaning. Blasphemy. Oh, that healthcare practitioner is treating the disease as if it has meaning. The kook. And you got retard me over here just like screaming in the into the void. All the resentment just because I figured it out. Nobody else figured it out. I figured it out. What everybody already knew, what everybody already knows, because they are. I figured it out though. There is no clear transmission of the truth possible. What everybody has been doing before in terms of how they conceptualize all this is retarded. If you don't learn how to think from water, right? Like as long as you people learn how to think as a molecular biologist, it takes them like 20 years. Go get your PhD in psychology, learn to think like that, another 5 or 6 years. If a person has not used water to develop the pattern of their thought, there's no way they can possibly comprehend the majority of what's going on inside themselves. Vague, indirect shadows.